Fairy tales. Often whimsical, always memorable. Fairy tales are offered up by cultures the world over as a fine form of storytelling on whose pages can be found magic, excitement, romance, even salvation. Tell that to anyone but the fairy tale's main characters and they'd scoff at you. They might even punch you. What happens in the background of Happily Ever After? Often the fairy dust is reserved for a select few, while the rest of the towns, shires, and villages are left to fend for themselves, or worse, are blindsided by someone else's pursuit of their happily ever after. Their lives often dramatically and irreparably affected by all the magic in the air. Certain fairy tales offer vast and intricate worlds that seem to exist solely for the main character. Entire ecosystems that live and breathe so that our hero or heroine have a place to hang their hat, so to speak. Take the ocean, the entire vast, deep, unending ocean. This is home to a certain mermaid that everyone has come to love. And also, apparently, an entire community of other mermaids that no one gives a piping hot shit about. Well, today, this community gets its due in the personage, or mermaid-age, of one Herman the Merman, a commoner, a background player, frankly put, a nobody. We interview this garden-variety merman in the hopes of providing something more real, more concrete for your collective consciousness as it applies to the people living under the sea. They aren't all red-headed, beautiful, angelically adept at singing, and they most certainly do not all long for the comforts of the land. Or do they? This is our chat with Herman the Merman.
Hello, my name is Herman. In your parlance, I'd be considered a merman. Yes, my name rhymes, and yes, yous can go fuck yourselves if you think I find that funny in any way. So first things first, I'm wearing a tank top. I'm getting on in years, my abs aren't what they used to be. We're not all Jason fucking Momoa down there. So I figured I'd throw on the old tank rather than bear it all for you. I rather like it, with the flowers and such. I also like your ales, your ambers, your stouts. I think the dark stuff is my favourite. I'll steal it if anyone's fool enough to leave it unattended on the shoreline or a dock or out on a boat. Been doing that for years. Perhaps it's part of my problem. And now for the whale in the room. Sorry, the elephant in the room. We got our own colloquialisms down there, just like you lot, but since I'm above sea level, we'll go with elephant. I imagine you'd like to see my tail in action, All right, let's go for it. So there you have it. Mermaids exist. We got a whole fucking civilization down there. We got towns and villages, cities. We also have all kinds of seashells, likes of which you've never seen. Sort of swirly and sparkly, real beautiful like. But outside of that, our lives aren't terribly different in your bipedal existence, you know. We don't all want to come up here and sprout legs and live your life. You might be saying, oh, but you've got to deal with the sea creatures. Well, most of them are nice as can be. And if not, we are at the top of the food chain. Got a fight with those fuckface sharks in that regard. Fucking sharks. But you lot, you got predators too, you know, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Not to mention, you're always baking in the hot sun, and all of your pollution from your cars and your trucks and your wars and your stupid fucking choices all the time. I mean, look at you lot. You're a fucking mess. What makes you think I would give up my carefree existence just to sprout a pair of legs and walk around? I know. It's 'cause you saw that movie with the redhead mermaid who gives up everything unique about herself to please some boring-ass man. Why would I sacrifice my amazing anatomy for a chance to be up here, I mean, what would I do? Climb a hill? Wander into a seaside pub? Order a pint of the dark stuff? And listen while a fiddle player lights up the night, while the rain hits the window just hard enough outside to make you feel warm and cozy and safe all at once, And then maybe end the night with an ice cream cone. What what's in those things. I see you lot eating them all the time. On the boardwalk, on the shore. You always look so happy when you have one. What magic does it hold? Well, if that's what you think I've been asking myself, questions about ice cream and the like, you thought wrong. Like I give a slippery shit about ice cream. You lot and your fairy tale bollocks. That red-headed mermaid of yours, you know what happens to her in the original story? Every time she takes a step, it's as if she's walking on broken glass and knife points. It says in the text that she bears it willingly for the sake of the prince and walks by his side as lightly as a soap bubble. Soap bubble, my arse. You're stepping on knife points. You don't get further than 2 steps before you break down crying. I'm telling you, you're not stepping on knives and broken glass in the name of love. I don't care how desperate you are, how badly you need to get laid. How much you want to feel that fisherman's daughter's pale skin against your own. How much you want to kiss and be kissed. And trade up your janky fish penis for a proper dick and use it, by God. No reason to be stepping on a bunch of needles just for a blow, am I right? Am I right? I don't know. Is it worth it? Look, if someone offered me a day on land like a shore leave sort of a thing, I'd take him up on it. I would. As long as the cost wasn't my arm, or my leg, or my ears, or my fucking voice. No, truth be told, I've seen some pretty beautiful things up here. I'm not saying I want to move in and be part of your world or nothing. But a day, that'd be good. You know, maybe I'd finally have that ice cream. Finally climb that hill. Strum a guitar, you know. And no one's offering me that. So if you've got all that in your life, be thankful. Why don't you? Stop moping around on the shore. I see you lot all the time, staring out at the ocean, looking for it to make you feel better. Bollocks. Anyway, I should be going. If I stay up here much longer, I'm liable to get speared by some lunatic with a hard-on for myth poaching. But I'll ask you this. If you got a kind bone in your body, maybe you'll remember me on lonely nights. Leave some dark stout or a bucket of ice cream there on the shore. I'd be plenty grateful. I can't pay yous in seashells. I know that's not a currency up here, but you'll always have a friend in the briny deep, huh? Keeping the sharks at bay. Who am I kidding? There's no keeping those fucking things at bay. They're demonic, prehistoric killers. Imagine you're waking up, turning over, blinking your eyes open, and what's staring down at you but a fucking shark with its 5 rows of teeth and its dead, soulless eyes. That sort of thing might make its way into your nightmares, but it's my fucking life. It's so unfair you's got it so much better up here. In fact, fuck it, the sharks can have yous. And I don't need your leavings or your charity. Keep your stouts and your ice cream. Because when I die, likely swallowed by a fucking shark, I'm gonna come back as a landman with a big cock who eats ice cream for every meal and drinks stout all day long. And you might just come back as a merman. And then you'll really know what it's like to be in over your head.